Hello everyone and welcome to KDH art class. Today we're going to make a hat, and we're going to do it with things we find around the house for the most part and a few other key items. I started off with the large oatmeal container. I love oatmeal. It's leftover. You could use a Cool Whip top, plastic. You could use coffee containers, anything where you'll be able to cut out the bottom of it and be able to tape or glue on objects to the side of it. From there, you'll need to, like I said, cut the bottom. I went ahead and cut my tube in half. I've used it for many things. Save the top. You can make a embroidery hoop with it, and that's another project. You could make multiple little knitting looms, or there's other things we can make. So recycle, recycle, recycle. I took my oatmeal box. I happen to have some popsicle sticks. If you do not have popsicle sticks, you could also use clothespins. You could use the ones with the rounded heads. You could use the other ones. You could tape on pencils. Colored pencils would give you quite a few. Even markers, paper clips. I've seen the paper clips. Heads up with the paper clip. Be careful where the paper clip starts and finishes. That little point will get caught in your yarn, so make sure it is down a bit and that the tape is covering those 2 points and it's just the little rounded part sticking up. Just a heads up on that. Because it is a tube, your parents are going to need to start it for you, or if you are an older child and your parents allow you to use box cutters or X-Acto blades, start it, and then I was able to cut it with my scissors after that. You might have to use it the whole time, but again, parents' permission to use these. I don't want anybody getting hurt. Once you have cut your little tube and you have attached your tops to it, you should have your nifty little knitter for very little money. I'm a strong believer in let's not spend a whole lot of money until we know we love doing this. If you love doing this, then go out and for about $30 you can get a package of different size looms. They come with the little hooks and they come with a tapestry needle. This is one of the things, you don't really need to have this. You could, in this case, use a toothpick that you tape your string onto when it comes to that time. But I recommend having these around. They're not that expensive. They have plastic ones as well as the metal ones. These are, this one I'm using is a size 14. It's the size I use with my younger students at the elementary level, usually up to 2nd grade. I have a size 16, which is pointier, that goes through felt. This does not like to go through felt at all. It's very dull, which is what we like. It's great for burlap. It's great for linen, t-shirt materials, and the such. But it has the big opening that you can put yarn or crochet string, or you can put the thicker materials through it. You can even put t-shirt material through it. That's why I recommend one of these at your house. Again, it's not that expensive. But for today's project, if you don't have one, something like a toothpick will work, or like a hairpin. You have to ask the long-haired people in your family if they have that. Otherwise, you could use a pencil. You could just use your fingers. Or if you don't want to buy the $30 kit, you can get just the hook. And I want to say I got mine for like $2, something like that. And yarn. And I believe that's all we really need. The scissors to cut the yarn. This to set up the tube. If you already have the Nifty Knitters, you don't need the X-Acto blade at all. You could use the pencil. You don't have to have the hook. Today you can use the toothpick with our homemade Nifty Knitters. I like using the tapestry needle. It just works better for me. All right, so we're ready to begin. To make the hat with my little oatmeal container, obviously my head is not this small. This is now a child's hat. So as an elementary teacher that loves doing community projects, I'm already thinking about my classroom. We're going to make our Nifty Knitters. We're going to use these tubes, and we're going to create baby hats, and we're going to donate them to a community group in need, okay? Or they can keep it for themselves. So I love this project. We can even add braided yarn on the side so you can tie it under the chin to help keep it on. You can add a pom-pom to it. You can add beads to it. You can just make it as fun and artistic as you like. You can use as many colors as you like. I'm going to basically use 2 different colors so it's easier for you to see how to make it. And with that, we need to start making it. All right, so I have already started, but it doesn't matter if you started it and you ran out of time one day, you set it to the side and you need to start over, or if you're going to change colors, or if you're just getting started, it all starts the same. All right, so my blue, I'm not going to need right now. Let's say I'm starting from beginning. I'm going to start with the white string. I have my little popsicle sticks. I'm going to start with my beginning one. In this case, my purple one is the start. You can just count the little loops on it. You don't need to know which color it is. I find it useful. It's entirely up to you. It's not necessary. Here's my starter. I'm going to go ahead and take my string, crisscross it, go through, excuse my dogs, somebody just rang the doorbell, and tie it once, and repeat, crisscross, pull it through, and tie it twice. You don't need to pull very tight. In fact, if it's a little loose, it would make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, so this knot and this little string, they are not the prettiest thing, so we're going to put them to the inside where nobody's going to see it because that's going to be inside the hat. I like leaving this a little bit longer because sometimes I can weave it in or hide it in my hat, or I can use it to tie off to something else to help secure it. All right, so you have this one little loop. Now, staying on the inside, I am going to wrap around my next one and finish on the inside. What I mean by the inside is I'm here on the inside. I'm going to wrap around the outside and come back in. Do not pull this as tight as you can. You want it to be soft, you know, pliable, loose. Okay, and I'm going to go around the next one. Now, it does not matter which direction you're going. I like going this way. I don't know why. If you like going that way, go that way. Just don't change directions. Whichever way you start, keep going. So around each one, Again, from the inside, loop around the outside, back to the inside, loop around the outside, one loop, one circle, whichever way you want to call it, one time around. All right, I am back to the beginning. That is one time around. You're going to need to go around a second time. I have already done that earlier. My blue was the first time around. My white is the second time. When you go around the second time, make sure it is above. Let me use my pencil so you can see. Above your first round. So blue was my first, white was my second. See how the whites are all above the blue ones. Very important. All right. Once you have gone all the way around 2 times, no, you do not need to change colors, but I did so you can see what's going on. Once you've gone around 2 times, you're going to take the bottom one and you're going to go over the top one, over the top of the popsicle stick, and let go. Now I only have that white one or the top one left on there. Go to the next one. All right. Like I said, you can use a pencil. Okay. Pull the bottom one up, over the top one, over the popsicle stick, let it go, so only the top one is left. Okay. You can even use your fingers. Not as easy for me, but the little kids, their motor skills are great. All right, over the white one, over the top, and down. I'm going to stick with my hook. It does not block the screen as much, and it's easier for me to do. So you'll notice a pattern. I am going bottom one, over the top, over the top popsicle stick, and down. Next popsicle stick. Over, over and down. Over, over and down. That pattern is all you need to know to make a hat. We can also make scarves. We can make little coasters or pot holders. But those are videos for other days. All right, over, over, and like I said, the purple one is my first one, so I have one more to do. All right, now all of your sticks have one string on there. So we need to do it again. So that you can see it better, I'm going to switch to blue. Okay. So once again, I'm going to go all the way around, add a second one. So starting on the inside, forgot to point that out, go around the outside of the stick. Next one, around, around. So you have 2 loops on each popsicle stick. Don't pull it tight, nice and gentle. Makes it easier to do the little knitting. And there's my last one. Okay. Now all my popsicle sticks have 2 wrappings around it. Let's go back to that pattern. Take the bottom one, go over the top one, and over the top of the stick. Come back here, blue. Open it up. The problem with getting old. Your vision goes, your hearing goes, and your coordination goes. All right, there we go. So good thing I had my two different colors. Over the top. All right. Over the top. And down. Over the top. And down. Now you can have as many popsicle sticks going around. The closer they are, the closer your knitting is going to be. Mine are a little bit far, but it works. I'm actually really excited. I like kind of that loose. Oh, lost my blue one again. Get back over here. So if it comes completely undone, you need to twist it like a key in the doorknob. And so it makes a loop, and put the loop back on. And silly me, my white one did not catch on. Challenging. It even came out of my little white loop there. So you learn more from mistakes than anything else. All right, let me grab my blue one again. Get back here. Now, do my little twist. And put it on. Now you can see why $30, the invention of that nifty little knitting device, and they're called by many different names, has a little edge on top to prevent what just happened there from happening. So it's worth the money if, again, this is something that you enjoy doing. Where am I at? Oh, this one still has the two. Let me take my white one. Go over that blue and down. Notice I'm getting smarter and holding the blue one down as my white one goes over it, so I don't have to do that again. I learned a lot just by making that mistake. Have no fear, this doesn't take too much. If you mess up a row, then you can always undo it and redo it, or just skip it. Okay. So, you're going to continue that pattern. Loop it around, make the two loops, hook over the top until you get the length that you want. For this, my hat, my baby's hat, is going to be, what's that look about? About 4 or 5 inches, maybe 6 inches. If you wanted to pull your ruler out and measure, you can. I'm an eyeball kind of person. All right, now I need to close this off. So I have to decide which color I'm going to use. And you know what? To make it easier for you, I'm going to leave this extra string here and cut them. I like having extra. You can always go back and cut more off, but it's really, really, really hard to come back and add. You cannot add. Not very easily at all. All right, those are going to go inside. Now, how am I going to take these off without it all unraveling? That's where your needle is going to come in, or your toothpick. is going to come in and help you out. I'm just going to use my toothpick here to show you. So I taped on my yarn, duct tape, try and make it as smooth as possible. I learned that mistake. And we're going to unhook these. So my toothpick is going to go under and pull through. I need to be careful. And now that it's in there, I can unhook it. Under. Pull it through. Just trying to catch on all that tape. That's why that tapestry needle would be so wonderful right now. You can tell I tied on a second color. You don't need to. Don't recommend it, it's getting caught. All right. Under. Pull it through. Be careful you don't lose this other end. Now, I did forget to mention, the bottom of your hat is inside the tube. This is going to be the top of your hat. In there, and pull it through. Under that loop, pull it through. Under that loop, pull it through. Under that loop. Can't tell if it's the toothpick or the tape that keeps catching my yarn. Through that little loop. And through. Looks like I just have a few more. Under. And pull. Under. And pull. Under. And pull it. Ooh, two more. Under. Pull it. And the last one, under. And pull it. All right. So, trying to use different colors so you can see the different steps. I have pulled out my lovely little masterpiece, and I'm hooked onto all my strings. I'm going to tie my blue and white one together since it's kind of coming undone. The ones that I just laid in there. All right. Now, at this point, we're going to take everything, all these little strands that are not the green ones, and put them inside. So it just happens to be those two strands. And now I'm going to pull my green strings together, and voila, my hat just closed up at the top, so that I'm not wasting all of that string. I'm going to make sure a little bit more so I can tie crisscross tie it off. Once really, really tight. I don't want my baby's head to come popping through. Crisscross through there again. And nice and tight. Make sure I have some extra string. Yeah. So here's where you can start having fun. You might have these extra little ends hanging out from the beginning. I am going to kind of over weave it down to my blue one because I changed colors. So I have these extra little strings hanging out. You probably do not. So now I'm going to just kind of tie them together. Once they're tied, I will clean them up. I do not know how much you need to actually tie them together. I just am used to my stuff falling apart, so as a precaution, I like to tie it. And I have this little white one. I think I'm just going to tie it here. And I don't want it falling apart. So that would be a disadvantage of doing all the extra little colors, is you're going to have these extra strings that you're going to need to try and hide. You can weave them in and out, but my loops are so big, you'll probably see it. You know what, let me do a second knot, just because I really don't want it falling apart. I love these things, they're so cute. I want them to last. All right, now let me cut off that little extra. And then I have my original blue and white in here. Whoop, I had that extra little white one there. Let me go ahead and bring it over. And tie it together. I'll use that white one. Get rid of these extra little ends. All right, so I have these green ones. I double knotted. I can tie a pom-pom on with it. Or I could do a little braid. I could add some beads to it. I could tie on a little bow, if you're good at tying bows, and then give it a little tie. And these you could tuck in to the inside if you want to hide them, which of course you want to hide them. And no, you don't need to change colors to do this. If I did this in the blue, then it would automatically hide. It wouldn't stick out. But I did want to make sure that you could see how to do the drawstring. And once I have them on this side, I can tie them off and trim them. I think I'm going to leave it there because I might add a little pom-pom later. And voila, you have yourself the cutest little hat. Feel free to embellish and make it as wonderful and fun as you like. Again, these make great baby gifts, holiday gifts, birthday gifts, or, like my students are going to discover next year, a nice community project to help others and just do good in this world. Have a great day. Enjoy these projects and more. Go to KDH Art Class and subscribe to get all kinds of fun lessons with recycled materials for different ways of doing different projects. Keep creating. Bye.